Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely drained, confused, and somehow smaller than when it started? Maybe you can't put your finger on what just happened, but something feels off. You're not imagining it. You might be dealing with a master manipulator. Today we're diving deep into 7 manipulation tactics that are so subtle, most people never see them coming. And here's the thing, manipulators count on your blindness to these patterns. The moment you can name what's happening, you reclaim your power. I'm going to give you real examples, explain the psychology behind each tactic, and most importantly, show you exactly how to protect yourself, because your peace of mind isn't negotiable. Let's start with the most insidious one. Tactic 1. Gaslighting, rewriting reality. The first tactic is gaslighting, and it's not just forgetting things. This is the systematic rewriting of reality in real time. Picture this. Last Tuesday, your partner said they'd be home by 6 p.m. for dinner. You planned around it, cooked their favorite meal. They rolled in at 9 p.m. without a word. When you bring it up, they don't just apologize. They look you dead in the eye and say, "I never said 6 p.m. You must have misunderstood. You always do this. You hear what you want to hear." This isn't a memory issue. This is calculated psychological warfare designed to make you question your own perceptions. The goal isn't to win an argument. It's to make you stop trusting yourself entirely. Here's what's happening in your brain. When someone consistently denies your reality, your mind starts creating doubt about everything else you remember. You begin second-guessing your instincts, your memories, even your emotions. And that's exactly what they want. The antidote? Start keeping a record. Not to catch them, but to validate your own experience. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong. Tactic 2. The silent treatment weapon. The second tactic is weaponized silence, and this goes way beyond someone needing space to cool down. This isn't someone processing emotions maturely. This is punishment designed to train you like a lab rat. They're conditioning you to fear their withdrawal so much that you'll sacrifice your own needs to avoid it. The psychology here is brutal. Humans are wired for connection. When someone deliberately withholds emotional availability, it triggers panic in your nervous system. Your brain interprets this as a threat to your survival, making you desperate to repair the connection at any cost. Here's the reality check. Someone who truly cares about you will communicate their needs, not punish you for having boundaries. Healthy people say, "I need some time to think," not "you're dead to me until you comply." The protection strategy: don't chase. Set a boundary. When you're ready to communicate like an adult, I'm here. Until then, I'm not going to beg for basic respect. Tactic 3. Weaponizing your vulnerabilities. The third tactic cuts the deepest because it involves betraying your trust at the most intimate level. Think about that moment when you shared something vulnerable. Maybe your fear of abandonment because your dad left when you were young, or your insecurity about your weight, or your anxiety about not being smart enough. In that moment, someone who truly loves you holds that information like sacred trust. A manipulator files it away like ammunition. Fast forward to your next disagreement, you're standing up for yourself about something completely unrelated, and suddenly they're saying, "No wonder your dad left, you're exhausting to be around." Or, "Maybe if you weren't so sensitive about your weight, you'd be easier to be with." This is calculated cruelty. They're not lashing out in anger, they're strategically targeting your deepest wounds to shut down your resistance. The goal is to make you so hurt and destabilized that you'll back down just to stop the pain. Here's what you need to know. Someone who uses your vulnerabilities against you has disqualified themselves from intimacy with you. Full stop. This isn't a red flag, it's a relationship ender. Protect yourself by recognizing this pattern early. True intimacy means your secrets are safer with someone than they are with you. Tactic 4. The moving goalposts. This tactic is absolutely maddening because it keeps you trapped in an impossible game. Meet Jessica. Her boss constantly complained that she wasn't proactive enough. So Jessica started anticipating needs, suggesting improvements, taking initiative. Suddenly, she was overstepping boundaries and not following protocol. So she pulled back, waited for direction. Now she was disengaged and lacking leadership qualities. Sound familiar? The rules keep changing because confusion is the point. You're not dealing with someone who has clear, consistent standards. You're dealing with someone who needs you off balance to maintain control. This tactic exploits your natural desire to please and succeed. Your brain keeps thinking, if I can just figure out what they want, everything will be okay. But here's the cruel truth. They don't want you to succeed. They want you chasing approval you'll never catch. The psychology is insidious. When rewards are unpredictable, your brain actually becomes more obsessed with getting them. It's the same mechanic that makes gambling addictive. Liberation comes from recognizing you're playing an unwinnable game. Stop trying to crack their code. Their inconsistency isn't a puzzle for you to solve. It's information about their character. Tactic 5. Strategic isolation. This tactic is perhaps the most dangerous because it cuts you off from reality checking and support. It starts subtly. Your sister is so dramatic, she's always stirring up trouble between us. Or, your friends don't really know the real you like I do. Or, your mom is so controlling, she just wants to break us up because she's jealous. At first, it might even feel flattering. Someone thinks your connection is so special that others just can't understand it. But look closer at what's happening. Every person who might offer you perspective or support is being systematically discredited. This is strategic isolation, and it serves multiple purposes. First, it eliminates outside voices that might validate your concerns. Second, it makes you more dependent on the manipulator for social connection. Third, it removes potential escape routes if the relationship becomes abusive. Healthy relationships celebrate your other connections. Secure people aren't threatened by your family and friends. They welcome them because they want you to have a rich, full life. The protection protocol: maintain your relationships fiercely. If someone consistently has problems with everyone who matters to you, the problem isn't your support system, it's them. Tactic 6. Intermittent reinforcement. The sixth tactic is what keeps people hooked on toxic relationships long after they should have left. One day, they're your soulmate. They're attentive, affectionate, everything you've been craving. You think, see, this is who they really are. The other stuff was distress. But then tomorrow, you're back to walking on eggshells, wondering what you did wrong. This isn't passion, it's intermittent reinforcement, and it's the most addictive reward schedule in psychology. Casinos use this exact pattern to keep people pulling slot machine levers. When kindness is rare and unpredictable, your brain gets flooded with dopamine during those brief good moments. You become addicted to the relief, not the relationship. You're not staying for love, you're staying for the high of temporary reprieve from pain. Recognize this: healthy love is consistent. It doesn't require you to endure abuse to earn affection. You shouldn't have to wait for crumbs of kindness from someone who claims to care about you. Tactic 7. Boundary guilt tripping. The final tactic attacks the very foundation of healthy relationships: your right to have boundaries. After everything I've done for you, you won't do this one small thing? I guess you don't really care about me. I can't believe you're being so selfish right now. Or, if you really loved me, this wouldn't even be a question. This is emotional extortion. They're making your boundary about their worth instead of your well-being. But here's what they don't want you to know. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're guidelines for how to love you well. Someone who guilt trips your boundaries is telling you they believe their wants matter more than your needs. That's not love, that's entitlement. As Seneca reminds us, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Recognizing these patterns isn't about becoming cynical, it's about becoming wise. Your peace of mind isn't negotiable. Real love doesn't require you to extinguish yourself to keep someone else burning bright. Which of these patterns felt familiar to you? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if this helped you see clearly, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community that puts your peace first. Remember, you deserve relationships that make you feel more like yourself, not less. Don't settle for anything that dims your light.